Ball has been pretty big this year, and I really want to talk about it. So the conference championships are coming up. We got the Commanders and the Eagles, and the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs. And before we get to the Chiefs, which is going to be a big thing, let's talk about the Commanders and the Eagles. So this is going to be a really, really, really tough matchup for both teams because Jaden Daniels, he has been very, very, very efficient lately. But Jalen Hurts isn't going to let that stop him of what he wants to achieve. And they really want to get back to the Super Bowl after getting annihilated by the Chiefs a few years ago. So that's a big opportunity for them, and they don't want the Commanders getting in their way because of that. So defense is definitely going to be the key because Jaden Daniels is a really big problem as a quarterback. And it's going to be a really tough matchup for both teams. Me personally, I got the Washington Commanders winning this, but we'll see what happens on Sunday. It's going to be a real great matchup, and I really can't wait to see what happens. So let's get to the Chiefs real quick. So the Chiefs been pretty much perfect in all their matchups. They went, I believe, 15-1 this year. That's a crazy record. But guess who that loss was against? The Buffalo Bills. So we'll see what happens because that is the only team to beat them in the regular season that year. So we'll pretty much see what happens. So definitely the key of stopping the Chiefs is going to be defense because we know Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback that we have right now. Arguably, saying that he's a GOAT, he's going to be better than Tom Brady. But I still have Tom Brady up there. I don't have Mahomes up there yet. But defense is definitely going to be the key to stopping Mahomes and also Kelsey. And let's be real. When I was watching the game when they were playing the Texans, their defense kind of failed. And that's exactly why they lost that game. Their defense wasn't there. And C.J. Stroud, he made a lot of mistakes late in the game. He didn't pass the ball too late. He missed a few opportunities. And that actually really hurt the team. But definitely in the beginning when he lost it against their defensive coach, I think that kind of brought the heat out of them, that first play at the beginning of the game, and that kind of led to chaos for the team. The Chiefs were so disrespectful, they gave him a safety for that, fam. They really gave him a safety. And that's a very disrespectful thing. Let's be real. But the key to this is definitely going to be the Buffalo Bills defense and also making great decisions in the last minute. So let's be real. And this is kind of a little bit of a coincidence too that the Chiefs are getting a lot of calls from the refs very late in the game, and we've seen that when they were playing the Texans when the call should have been on their side, but they switched it over back to the Chiefs side. And they got a first down off that. That's very, very, very bad refereeing by the officials, and it's not acceptable at all. So it's definitely a little bit of a coincidence that the Chiefs are getting all those calls late in the games, and those calls are really ridiculous calls, and it really it kind of messed up the flow of the other team, and then they end up scoring and they can't do nothing about it. And they have a trouble with their offense. So that's pretty much a very big problem. So when they're playing the Bills, they definitely can't let that get in the way because who knows? That could happen again when they play the Bills. They could have a really bad call and then the Chiefs are going to get their opportunity. So they just have to back it up. So defense is really going to be the key for all this. I really can't wait to watch it. The game's on Sunday. And it's going to be real good matchups. But I honestly really hope that the Bills will pull through and beat the Chiefs. Because like I said, they're the only team to beat them in the regular season this year. And a very, very hard-fought game. And we got to make sure that Josh Allen he can't make no mistakes, okay? Well, obviously, no. I should say that. Well, mistakes are going to happen here and there, and it's definitely going to be really critical. But you have to be careful in the last seconds of the game because that's really what matters. Because turnovers are pretty much like a really fatal thing that could happen to you at the end of the game. So if your offense isn't on point at the end of the game and it's very sloppy and you can't get the ball back at the last second of the game and you can't tie it up or take the lead, then that's going to be a real big problem. So Josh Allen needs to play smart this game, and he really needs to make good decisions, have great awareness, and get it to the open man and make great decisions. And defense is going to be a really big key to all this, because they really have to stop it. Also, Kelsey, he's a really big problem on the offensive side, and he's gonna Mahomes, he's his guy, so he's gonna try to find him pretty much like whenever he can. So he's gonna really need to. So the Bills really need to play some great defense and stop those guys from scoring, or like try to get pressure on Mahomes, so he can pretty much like throw out kind of like a wild shot, or sack him, or just throw the ball into the stands, or not a great passer. He's a really great passer coming from a quarterback like that. So they're gonna have to be real careful with those two guys. So defense is gonna be the key for those guys. And I really can't wait to watch the game. It's gonna be a real great game from both teams. I really hope the Bills can pull it through and make it, because if they don't, that's going to be the three-peat for the Chiefs, because most likely they're probably going to win the Super Bowl like they did the last 3 years. So I really hope the Bills can pull it through, because being from New York, I'm going to be routing the New York side, and I'm going to be routing the Bills for this game.